Patrick Mahomes just got a whole lot more friends. That is for sure. Dinner on Mahomes pretty much forever, inking a 10-year deal. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. I am Molly Karam Rose. I'm crewed up as usual. Stephen A. Smith, Marcus Spears, and Max Kellerman will be with me in just a second. Let me give you guys the details on this mega deal right now. So per Adam Schefter, the extension for the Super Bowl MVP is worth $450 million and could be worth up to $503 million if certain incentives are met. Now, of course, this isn't like the NBA where it's guaranteed. It includes a $140 million injury guarantee and a no-trade clause. Sources said the deal will keep him in Kansas City through the 2021 season. He still had 2 years remaining on his current contract. Now, it is the richest valued contract in American professional sports, passing the 12-year, $426 million deal Mike Trout inked with the Angels last year. But again, not all guaranteed. King James showing some love. Congrats, bro. Let me borrow $5. You can see that right there. Marcus, I'm going to start with you on this one here. What could this Mahomes deal do for Dak, who signed a franchise tag tender with the Cowboys in late June?
Nothing at all, Molly. Dak is going to have a contract that is very lucrative, and he's going to get paid handsomely. But I've been drilling the fact that this is a different type of situation. This is based on what we've seen Pat Mahomes do. This is a once in a generational type quarterback. So they create their own market. There's this whole mirage that, it's going to affect everybody, and Deshaun and Lamar and Dak. And let me continue to say that this does not mean Lamar and Deshaun and Dak won't get eye-popping contracts. That's not what that means. But when we look at this league, Patrick Mahomes will be the face of it. Also, Patrick Mahomes is going to be a wise investment for the Kansas City Chiefs based off what television ratings are when he's playing, but also winning, which is a big part of it. AFC Championship the year previous, and now a Super Bowl champion and an MVP in his young career. So they're forecasting everything about Patrick Mahomes based on what he's already proven. This is a Patrick Mahomes market. This is the climate that was set by Patrick Mahomes. We've talked about it for almost a year now. When Patrick Mahomes' deal is up, or when they decide to negotiate, back up the Brinks truck and let him decide how much he wants to take out of it. And look, I'm not about the fluff money, so I'm glad you went over the contract. $141-some-odd million is what he's going to put in the bank, regardless of whatever happens. But potentially $500 million for a quarterback in the NFL. And for all intents and purposes, Patrick Mahomes is going to play this contract out based on his age and what we've seen him do. And we think that he's going to continue to have this amount of success. It's magnificent that he got it, but this is about Patrick Mahomes, not Dak, not Lamar, not Deshaun. They will have their own markets as well. I just don't think they'll be $500 million like Kansas City invested in Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, let's stay with that. And Stephen A., I'll redirect it to you because obviously it's generational wealth here. Stephen, do you think Mahomes deserves this type of money, this mega deal?
He deserves every penny of it. He deserves every penny of it, not just because of his greatness, not just because of the fact that he's 24-7 as a starter. He's got 76 touchdowns and 18 interceptions in his 2 years in the National Football League, which is just insane. That's a better than 4-to-1 TD to interception ratio. He's also a Super Bowl champion. And so when you take that into consideration along with his youth, and you're projecting moving forward the kind of money he will generate for the franchise, that's the beauty of this deal. It's not just about his greatness on the field, it's also his marketability. What kind of money he brings in to the franchise. Religiously, we've been having conversations over the years, and we've been talking about the brand that is the National Football League, how just a few people get marketed to be the face of the sport, but essentially the NFL has been incredibly successful successful in marketing its sport into being an event to the point where pastors evolve their sermons around the game time starts and things of that nature, that football has become a religion in North America. We've spoken about this, and we've spoken about the brand and the shield that is the NFL. What Patrick Mahomes just did for the NFL is showed the power that individual marketing can do no matter where you are. And the fact that the NFL recognizes, a team within the NFL has recognized the value of that particular player to this degree is going to speak volumes, because now individual football players are going to go about the business of being adroit at measuring their level of marketability and what they can bring to the table. Of course, they got to go out on the field to perform. Of course, they got to win like a Super Bowl champion, et cetera, et cetera. But in the end, if you can also attach that to marketability as an individual, as opposed to you just being associated with the brand, that can go a long way towards getting you an exorbitant amount of money. And you don't have to get $500 million in order to complete that. If it was 400, if it was 300 million, it would still be an awful lot of money, generational dollars. And that's what I think that Patrick Mahomes has opened up potentially for a lot of players down the line in the National Football League.
Let me be a myth buster here. Number one, I'll answer the question directly. Patrick Mahomes deserved much more than he got. Now let me bust some myths. Number one, it's a $500 million contract. No, it's not. It's a $140 million contract. That's what's guaranteed no matter what, come hell or high water, $140 million. Now, Bill Barnwell has a great article on ESPN.com, which he frequently does, analyzing and breaking it down, and he's likely to make a lot of that money. Maybe more even if they restructure the deal at some point. But what we know for sure, no matter what, it's $140 million. Not number one, in a hard cap league, understand, guys, Marcus, Stephen A., he didn't do anything for the players just now. There's nothing, not a single penny more is going to players than it's going to owners before this deal was signed. Same exact money. The only thing is some players are going to get less because Patrick Mahomes got more. It's capped what the players can make. Now, Mahomes is such a good dude and such a team player, and also from a selfish point of view, I'm sure wants to win lots of Super Bowls, that he did not sign the kind of deal that hamstrings the team going forward. He signed the kind of deal that will allow the team to be very competitive around him, and because of his greatness, likely win more Super Bowls. Why? He did not tie this to a percentage of the cap. So when the cap rises, it's not like right now he's like 16% of the cap, which is the record, but by like 1% more than the 15% that Andrew Luck got, or the 14-something that Russell Wilson has. He didn't, Mahomes should shatter the record. He didn't. He remade the quarterback market by a modest amount, and he did that because he wanted something that works for everyone. It certainly works for the Kansas City Chiefs. It certainly works for Patrick Mahomes. He will get to be a very wealthy man from this, and will likely win more Super Bowls precisely because the system is working the way the owners want it to. If a player cares about that sort of thing, he will cap what he is going to get. He will self-regulate. Mahomes could have held out for more likely. Like, what was the previous high in the guarantee? Well over $100 million. So he didn't get $200 million guaranteed. He got $140. And as for the rest of it, not tying it to the team cap means that it's essentially team-friendly, likely, unless he becomes a totally diminished player, in which case at some point the team's going to have to eat a lot of dead cap money in order to get rid of him. Unless something like that happens, and why would that happen to Mahomes? This is a team-friendly deal, so he absolutely deserved it and more, but this is actually a case where I think good for him. He signed the kind of deal that sets the market for quarterbacks. Remember, it's all coming from other players, not coming from the owners extra. He reset the market for quarterbacks, got paid the most, which he deserves, but also didn't reach to the point where they can't put a Super Bowl contender around him every year. He deserved it.
All right. We'll leave it there on that note. Marcus will be with us a little bit.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Marcus. The delay was a little long. I thought you were done there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for that explanation of money, Max. Basically, what we talked about of 141 being guaranteed. I think the thing to focus on with this contract is the fact that most of the time quarterbacks play these things out longer past the guaranteed money. If we were talking about another position, that would be a different conversation. Pat Mahomes will very well take home more than $250 million. Now, whether it's guaranteed off day one or not, no, and barring no injury, but based on this contract, he'll take home at least half of $500 million, which is still more. I mean, Eli ended his career earnings with $252, but Pat Mahomes will take home more than that.
Yeah, he'd probably take home over $500 million if he stays healthy.
All right, we'll leave it